Hey, everybody. Where's my music? Where the hell's my music? What a dumb. Yeah. There's my intro. Forgive me, folks. Good morning, my dear friends and good people. I hope you all have a good, safe day today. Sorry about my botched intro, but you know how we do it over here, folks. Go get yourself something to drink. Come in, hang out with me, relax, and tell a couple stories. I'm going to start this part one of a series of, I did a lot of videos about certain things, and we're just going to go chronologically, take a slow ride, and just go at an even pace. Slow ride, take it sleazy, take it easy. All right. Welcome, my dear people, once again, and I appreciate your support. So, I was from a gambling background growing up. This is going to be part one. I'm just going to put these in instead of doing hour-long videos. We're going to segment these out and just give you a little brief idea. Of course, now the link, if you want the link to my book, it's in the about my channel part. And my buddy just told me, Joe, you got to tell them it's in the about part of your channel. I'm an Einstein, right? So that's in the about. There's a link there to Amazon Books. They dead miss, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's that. That's not a cup of JoJo. That's probably about a couple spoonfuls. That's me. Look at that little handsome boy. All right, enough of that bullshit. If anybody's still here watching, thank you for putting up with me. So, a gambling background. My grandfather was a hard worker and blood and guts and worker, but he took small bets, way back when and everything. And we gambled, played cards and whatever coming up. So when I tell the story about, when I was running around, well, this is how I got started in there. I used to go to the horse races at the racetrack, and a lot of times the bookies would go to the racetracks and meet their customers to either pay them or get paid. And Mike S., he had a steel business, but he also was a bookie. So Mike S. would go to the racetrack and search people out. And then he knew I was friends with some of these people. And he'd say, hey, Joe, hey, how you doing, Leon? So he would say, hey, Joe, have you seen so-and-so or whatever? Or maybe he'd say, if you see somebody, pay him this money. Or if you see somebody, and just tell them you got the right to collect it. So we built a rapport like that initially, just because to help him out. And we met, and then we got to be friendly. And I was college educated, and he said, come in and try to sell steel for me, because he had a successful steel brokerage. So I said, sure, I'll come in and make cold calls and fax and run errands for him and everything. And that evolved into me running money, larger amounts of money, when he built up trust in me and we had a rapport and we knew more about each other. So that was the early initiation. And he was doing deals with a big crime family in Niagara Falls. And so then I started running up to meet that guy and say, this is from Mike, packages. This is from Mike. Yep. Okay, bam. So I built up that relationship. It was a restaurant club, and that's where they operated out of. So that's how I met Sam. up there, Sam the boss, and he would throw me a tip, and and I got into a rapport with him. So that's how I got in that mix, and then it slowly evolved into a lot of crazier stuff based on many reasons. Number one being greed on my part and greed on everybody's part. So that was the early days of me getting around these people. And then, so while I'm in the office, I was getting collect calls from a penitentiary, federal penitentiary in Texas. That's where Robert K. comes on the scene. The Polish guy, and thanks, Mark, that came in, and he was to do his work release. I'd be at the office, and it would say, collect call from Texas Penn, and I'd accept, and then I'd transfer it back to Mike's phone. We had conjoining offices in a little office building. So, and then they would talk. So then he finally got released from the Texas prison, where this Robert K. was in jail for robbing his parents' life savings and blowing it on the bills into some game, Super Bowl game, over $250,000. So can you imagine that? Degenerate gambler, rob your parents' life savings so you could bet all this money. So that's Mike S. That's Robert K., degenerate gambler. And of course, he was probably making bets with Mike in some aspect prior to that. So he came out of the Texas prison, and he's going to do his work release parole bullshit at our office, which is a legitimate steel brokerage. And when he came in there, while he was in prison, he was conning another mob guy, big bookmaker, mob boss guy in another area, geographical. He was in another area, and he was telling him how he was a stock market guru. And that other guy was Tony M. And so he's got him all conned, and this other gangster, Tony M, is going to invest, try to launder money into legitimate stocks. So this Robert K's got this other gangster, Tony M, convinced that he can make a ton of money. So Tony M gives him $250,000, which seems to be the magic number, to invest and clean up that money. And so those are the players. And in the meantime, while I'm in the office, the FBI agents are coming in to see if Robert K. is fulfilling his work release and parole commitments. And that's where I met Agent Stephanie, and then we got into a close rapport together. So we got Mike S., the boss of I worked for him in the office. We got Sam. He's the boss of a family in Niagara Falls, big bookie. We got Robert K., the degenerate gambler that robbed his parents' life savings for $250,000, and now he's getting $250,000 more off of Tony Morelli and conning him. So those are the players, and I believe that Robert K. blew the money to Tony Morelli. He blew that $250,000 to Tony Morelli. Gambling, he was actually the guy that took the bet, I believe. And then Tony Morelli still had that $250,000 and said, you went to prison for it and everything else. When you come out, I'll reinvest that with you if you're a stock market guru, and then we can make some money on that. That's safe to say. But Robert K is thinking, when I get that 250, and then Mike S, the steel broker bookie guy, where I work for, is probably thinking, well, you know what? Yeah, when you get out of prison, Robert, we can hustle Tony Morelli, and you could get that 250 back that you blew. And so you got to follow along slowly. Yeah, Sam's a mafia crime boss in the Falls. Mike S is a bookie, steel brokerage in Buffalo. Tony Morelli, another high-ranking mobster. And Robert K, the degenerate gambler. And we're just going to connect the dots as we go along. Thus, Stephanie, FBI agent, comes in the office, checking up on Robert to make sure he's fulfilling his duties and everything else. So, it's a long road, but we're gonna do part one, part two, part whatever, however long it takes to get there. And it's a real wild story. And I hope all you good people out there enjoy it. And it's complicated, but if you could just follow 4 characters along and see the psychographics and the thinking that goes on, and the conning and the betrayal and everything else. So that gets well. I'll move along well. So that's all going on. So let's move ahead. Those are the players. So Robert K disappears from the office, and the FBI agent coming in. It's like, I don't know where he is. He don't come in here anymore. I never liked him from day one when he came in there. He was a crowbar. He was a complete phony. And I says, well, I don't know where he is. And so then Tony Morelli kept coming around saying, where is he? Where is he? Tony Morelli gave him $250,000 to invest in the stock market. They think I'm in cahoots with him. I was like, I don't know. I don't like the retard. I don't like that scumbag. I ain't got nothing to do here. I got my own duties, and that's what I do. And so he was pissed off. So Mike S, the guy that bring Robert, the owner of the business, bookie, to also Mike S, I says, well, where's Robert? So, Mike S was playing 3 sides of the fence. You set Robert K up in this office for his parole and everything, and in the meantime, he's conning Tony Morelli out of $250,000, and now you don't know anything. Okay. And I'm here left to answer questions with the FBI and Tony Morelli. That's like, everybody wants answers. So, yeah, where is that money? So I'm setting the table there, my good people, to try to establish that. I go to an office to legitimately sell steel, college educated, and then I start running errands to make a couple extra dollars with the bookmaking operation up to the Falls. And then I eventually start going downstate with big, gigantic packages back and forth from the bookmaking operation. So we'll set the table there. Okay, my dear people and good friends. So it is a fascinating read. I mean, I am a good writer also. I'm a great writer, folks. It is a good read. And the link to that book is in the About section of my channel and all that stuff, if you know how to navigate that stuff, which probably is very easy. I just complicate all technical stuff because my mind is in the 1970s, okay? So that's that. And that's how when I tell you these stories, well, that's the backstory of how I got thrust into that world, thrown into that world. You get thrown in the water and it's sink or swim. Well, don't I get a life preserver? Well, nah, you're gonna have to tread water. What's going on? I just lost the Moonlight Sonata. Sorry, Beethoven. I have problems with my set here. So that's the backstory, my good people. And then just fast forwarding when I do all those other mob stories, and it's just like, well, how'd you get there? Well, this is how I got there. I met him at the track. I went to sell steel, and then all these characters come on the scene, and it was like a wild roller coaster ride. And it was a lot of mental hopscotch and a lot of chess, really thinking ahead 3 moves in order to deal with the mob boss, Mike, the FBI, that clown Robert K., Tony Morelli, who wanted to kill me right off the bat, but then we got to be friendly after things evolved. So we'll get there in part 2, and I'll start elaborating more. I can't be doing these hour-long videos and everything, and we're just going to do a little trial series. We're going to do a little mini series here, and I appreciate all your support, and that's about it. We'll leave it there, and that's where it all starts, in an office complex, me selling steel, and then running errands, and these characters come into play, and it's a fascinating story that could be a movie very easily. Where in the movie you'd show a lot more, if my movie would show a lot more emotionality than just platonic stuff that they show, which is great theater. But a lot of these producers don't really divulge deeper into the emotionality. You're not just robots running around in the Mafia mob world. Emotions from A to Z. So, and it got to be emotional for me because I was going through a lot of crazy stuff, self-preservation, trying to figure things out, how to deal with these people. You got to deal with many different characters in different ways. You got to read people and know what they're thinking, and it just so it's a lot of emotionality. A lot of trying to pick people's brains, read their minds for self-preservation from going to jail or getting killed. No kidding. So I want to set the table there. That's part 1. My dear friends, and you guys have a safe day and a prosperous day. And I'm just going to do this experiment mini series. It ain't going to be long, maybe 3 parts. And if you're interested in that, I'm selling books. They dead missed. There's a link in the About My Channel part. Click on the About part of my channel, and there's a link in there, my buddy told me, because he set it up. Thank you, Mr. B. So that's it. We're not going to unpack the rest of it. And this is a reference point. If people come later and backtrack, well, this is set the table and get the characters in line. And I got to identify the characters so you know what you're dealing with, so you can follow along. So I appreciate your help, folks, and we're going to just try this out. And if there's any feedback you can give me after the part, and ask me something, because I'm open for feedback and everything else. I'm very personal with my subscribers and comment, and the ones that come in here and comment. So if you got any questions, ask me, and I'll try to address them the best I can in the next video. Maybe you might help me out with something that I might be missing. So that's that. All right, folks. Be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Do not give up. We're going to keep fighting, my dear friends, and you stay safe and strong. And you know, it's not partly cloudy. It is actually 100% sunny out today. All right. So the world is a vampire. It wants that blood. We ain't giving up that blood. We're going to fight and stay strong and stay together. And we're going to grow. We're going to have some fun, but we're going to raise each other up while we're doing it, okay? It's just not all mob stuff, but I'm doing my channel with this, but, you know, there's other aspects of life than just entertainment, okay? We got to be the best version of ourselves, okay? So that's that. I appreciate everybody coming in here. Go to the About section of my channel, and there's a link if you're interested in the book. It was rated top rank by I got 5 stars in England by a guy that never gave out 3 stars. Some aristocrat teetotaler in England gave me 5 stars. He ain't never gave 3 stars out in 100 years. All right, folks. God bless y'all. Stay great and stay strong. Okay, it's holiday season. Don't party too much and get depressed. Okay, let's stay strong. We are royalty from creation, so stay focused on that. Thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate your support, and have a great day. Take care.